I've made a lot of progress since I started trying to get better at CS last summer. In CSGO, I was level 1 on Faceit and Gold Nova in matchmaking. Since CS2's release, I have reached the top 5% of Premier and went from 746 elo in Faceit to a peak of level 6, which is a gain of like 500 elo. Not bad, right? Sure, but I have a problem. Despite many hours of coaching and practice, I seem to have hit a brick wall. You see, I first hit Faceit level 5 like 6 months ago. After taking a couple months off in the spring, I was excited to get back into it, reaching level 6 for the first time in July. Since then, well, it hasn't been so breezy. Despite continued practice, I just keep losing games, repeatedly dipping down into level 4, ranking up, deranking, ranking up, and then when I seem to be hitting my stride on the way back to level 6, losing 3 or 4 games in a row to completely wipe out that progress. This has been by far the most trying time in my CS journey to date. I've always tried to be transparent on this channel, so let's talk about it. How did we get here? Last summer, when I first started really trying to improve at CS and began working with my coach Phoenix, I forced myself to solo queue with abandon, taking any opportunity I could to get games in and improve through sheer force of will. It was easy to queue for games because I felt that I had nothing to lose and could only ever get better by doing this. I was already really low ranked anyway, so it felt trivial to hit that queue button. This all changed last fall when I made some good gains in CS2's Premier mode and then started to become hesitant to play by myself. I started 5-stacking more, feeling like I had to be playing in the optimal environment in order to not lose my precious rank within the top 10% of Premier, which, you know, isn't some marker of insane skill or anything, but from where I came from felt like a big deal. This continued into the winter when I switched over to primarily playing Faceit and starting my grind out of the 700 elo range. I was pretty much exclusively 5-stacking at this point. I made steady progress up until the spring when I took a break, which ended up lasting nearly 2 months, a bit longer than was ideal. It didn't take a ton of time to get back into the swing of things, but I was still restricting my playing time to only when I had 4 other friends online. I became totally afraid of pugging outside of 5 stacks, feeling stressed to play the game, feeling scared of deranking, having anxiety about what it means for this YouTube channel if I can't get any better, feeling embarrassed of my rank for how long I've been trying to improve, and my personal favorite, feeling embarrassed about feeling embarrassed. This was an untenable situation that I needed to address, so I came up with a plan. I thought of the worst thing that could happen, if all my darkest fears about CS came true. What would happen if I deranked to level 4 again, or even down to level 3? Would I still play the game? Would I still enjoy the game? Would I play the game even if there was no visible ranking system at all? Yes to all of the above. A D-rank may but not necessarily mean I was playing poorly, but it definitely doesn't mean I got worse. You don't just get worse when you're playing consistently, even though it can feel like that sometimes. And besides, there is no point for me to care what my rank is when I am so far from my ultimate goal of level 10. I just need to play the game to the best of my abilities, and I need to play as much as possible within the boundaries of the rest of my life. This means queuing even when my friends are not around. Every time I choose to not queue because I'm scared of the outcome, I am robbing myself of the chance to improve. Would a level 10 be afraid to queue a level 5 bubble game because they might derank to level 4? Of course not.
Mr. Lasagna, but you're not level 10.
Fair point, but I promise you no level 10 got there by being afraid to play the game. So that's what I will be doing. Playing. And I won't only be solo queuing because I'm not a psychopath, but that will be a big part of my CS going forward. And for the past couple weeks, I have begun streaming my efforts over on my Twitch channel. I want to be a positive example for other people in my situation. If I can do all of this in public, maybe it will help you get over your ladder anxiety as well. I hope to see some of you there. Another really important thing I also need to do is to be kinder to myself. I tend to ruminate over poor performances, missed shots, and mistakes, finding something to be unsatisfied with on the Leadify page, even when I played well, whether that be my crosshair placement, overall aim score, or some other stupid made-up stat that isn't worth obsessing over. Leadify, I love you, but we need to set some ground rules. I will not let myself upload my Faceit demos of losses or bad games until the next day when I've had some time to emotionally distance myself from them. In fact, I'm just staying logged out of the website and batch uploading demos a few times per week from now on. This is already helping my mental. There will always be a time for self-critique and sober analysis of my gameplay, but I also need to do a better job of building myself up. You can't be a good competitor in any field, especially CS, without a healthy dose of semi-delusional confidence. I need to go into games believing I'm the best player in the lobby. I need to have the shooter's mentality, the belief that hitting shots leads to hitting more shots, and that missing shots just means it's more likely that I'll hit the next ones. I need to take the long view and disregard the outcome of any one particular game and only focus on what I can control, my actions and my attitude. I need to go into games with a feeling of curiosity about how well I can do and not with a feeling of dread thinking about my stupid fucking elo. I need to believe that I have what it takes to reach level 10. Whatever my true potential is in this game, I will never find it if I don't believe in myself. Earlier today, I just capped off another 5-game losing streak and dipped under 1000 elo for the first time in months. Honestly, despite everything I just said, it still feels absolutely awful, and I think it's fine to admit that. I don't think there's any amount of stoicism or mindfulness that could make it not feel awful. I have a pit in my stomach just reading this part of the script. I feel like I'm being punished by a vengeful god for the hubris of being a content creator. Or something. But ultimately, the only way out is through, and although I am now at the same rank I was in February, I am definitely a better player now. Taking a more zoomed out view of things, I don't even have 250 games logged on my Faceit account in CS2. It would be a huge disservice to myself to believe I've reached the limit of my abilities. I'm not giving up, even though I kinda want to sometimes. I hope that this video resonated with some of you out there who are also feeling the heart-stuck blues. The mindset stuff I'm working on has been really interesting and helpful so far. I want to talk more about this, but I need to wait a bit longer until I can really put it into practice for more than a couple weeks. I do hope you'll follow along with me on Twitch. I am really trying to build a positive community of improvement-minded players, so if that sounds appealing to you, drop me a follow over there and join my Discord. Thank you, as always, for watching.